Have you ever wondered why they don't text you, but they're the first one to watch your story? Why they won't call, but they check your every move online? Why they act like you don't matter, but still lurk in the shadows like a ghost that can't let go? Let me tell you the truth. This isn't random. This isn't innocent. This is a power game. When they stalk you instead of texting you, it's because they want access to you without giving you respect. They want the benefits of your presence without the responsibility of communication. They want to see if you're still hurting, still waiting, still giving them free rent in your mind. But here's what they don't expect. Your silence is shaking them. Your refusal to chase is burning them up inside. They thought you would beg. They thought you would collapse. They thought you would come running back. Instead, you went quiet, and that silence, it's eating them alive. The Stoic Marcus Aurelius said, "The best revenge is not to be like your enemy." And that's exactly what your silence does. It refuses to play their game. It refuses to feed their ego. It refuses to hand them power. By the end of this video, you'll know exactly why they stalk, what it reveals about them, and how to use your silence to rise higher, stronger, untouchable. But first, I want you to declare your strength right now. I want you to drop this affirmation in the comments right now. My silence is my power. I do not chase. Now let's begin. Number 1, they crave your energy but fear your voice. The first reason they stalk you instead of texting is because they want your energy, but they're terrified of your voice. Watching your story, lurking on your page, scrolling through your photos, it's the easy way for them to feel connected without having to risk rejection. It's safe, it's weak, and it screams one thing: they can't let you go. But here's the twist. They don't text because they know silence has flipped the script. If they reach out, they risk hearing the truth. They risk facing your strength. They risk seeing you don't need them anymore, and that terrifies them. Seneca, one of the greatest Stoics, wrote, "He who is brave is free." Your silence is bravery. It proves you are free. Their stalking proves the opposite. It proves they are chained to what they lost. So what's your move? Do nothing. Keep living, keep growing, keep shining. Don't perform for them. Don't post for them. Don't shape your life around their watchful eye. You are not here to entertain the past. You are here to build the future. Every time they check your profile, it's a silent confession. I still care. I still wonder. I still regret. But every time you stay silent, it's your declaration. I am untouchable. My peace is priceless. I don't move backwards. Number 2, they want control without accountability. They stalk because they want control without paying the price of accountability. Texting you, that means they have to be direct. That means they have to risk rejection. That means they have to show their hand. But stalking is safe for them. It gives them the illusion of power without the courage to face you. But here's what they don't understand. Silence exposes weakness. Every view, every click, every little watch from the shadows reveals the truth. They still need you more than you need them. They want to monitor you without admitting it. They want to know if you've moved on, if you're happier, if someone else has stepped into the place they once took for granted. Marcus Aurelius said, "You have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength." Your silence shows you've already mastered what they cannot. You've taken control of yourself, while they scramble in secret, pretending they're strong, but proving they're trapped. Here's the action step. Don't reward their stalking. Don't send the first message. Don't drop hints. Don't give them breadcrumbs to follow. If they want clarity, they'll have to step out of the shadows and face you directly. Until then, their silence combined with your silence only exposes them further. Remember this truth. When someone hides, it's because they're afraid. And when you stay silent, it forces their fear into the open. So the next time you see their name pop up in your views, smile, not because you want them back, but because you know you already won. Number 3, your silence exposes their fear. They stalk you because your silence has become unbearable for them. They expected tears, long texts, desperate calls, but instead you gave them nothing, and nothing is the most powerful response you could ever give. That silence is louder than any word you could have spoken. It screams that you've moved beyond their games. Seneca once said, "He who is brave is free." And that's exactly what your silence proves. You're free. Free from their hold. Free from needing validation. Free from chasing someone who couldn't even appreciate your worth. Meanwhile, their silence isn't freedom. It's fear. Fear of being exposed. Fear of admitting they were wrong. Fear of losing you forever. Think about this. Every time they check your story, every time they scroll your profile, every time they watch without speaking, it's because they're terrified of what they'll see. They're scared you're happier without them. They're scared you've leveled up. They're scared their absence means nothing to you. And here's the action step. Don't break that silence. Don't give them the comfort they crave. Your silence is the test, and they are failing it. While they're hiding, you are building. While they're watching, you are rising. That is how you win, not with noise, not with attention, but with unshakable silence. I want you to drop this affirmation in the comments right now. My silence exposes what they fear the most. Number 4, your silence makes them question their worth. When you stop giving energy, they start doubting themselves. They stalk you because your silence is a mirror they cannot escape. Every time they see you not reacting, not chasing, not breaking down, it forces them to ask, "Did I ever matter as much as I thought?" That question eats at them because they believed they had power over you. They thought they were unforgettable, but your silence proves they were wrong. Epictetus taught, "It's not what happens to you, but how you react to it that matters." And your reaction, or rather your lack of reaction, destroys their illusion. They expected chaos. Instead, they're faced with calm. They expected weakness. Instead, they see strength. Your silence doesn't just disturb them, it makes them reevaluate who they are without you. The truth is, silence is not absence. It's presence amplified. It's the weight of everything unsaid pressing on their chest. That's why they stalk instead of texting. Because deep down, they don't know if they can handle the answer to their biggest fear, that you never needed them as much as they needed you. Here's your action step. Let them question. Let them doubt. Let them live with the silence you've created. Every day you refuse to break it, your value rises and their confidence falls. Remember, your silence is not emptiness. It's proof of your power. Number 5, your silence flips the power. Power always belongs to the one who needs less. When you go silent, you flip the script. They thought you'd always chase, always explain, always make yourself available, but you didn't. Instead, you stepped back, and that one move changed everything. Suddenly, they're the one wondering, waiting, overthinking. Your silence forces them into a position they never imagined, the weaker one. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "You have power over your mind, not outside events." Realize this, and you will find strength. That's exactly what you've done. By controlling yourself, by not reacting, you've reclaimed control over the entire situation. They stalk you instead of texting because deep down, they're afraid of rejection. They don't want to face your silence head-on, because that silence screams louder than any words ever could. Understand this. When you stop reacting, you stop feeding them power. Your silence turns the tables and exposes the truth. They no longer control the game. You do, and this shift terrifies them, because the one who controls themselves controls everything. Here's your action step. When the urge comes to break silence, pause and remind yourself, power belongs to me, not them. Don't give them what they crave, your reaction. Let your stillness remind them every single day that you no longer play by their rules. I want you to drop this affirmation in the comments right now. My silence flips the power back to me. Number 6, your silence creates mystery. Nothing rattles people more than not knowing where they stand with you. When you don't answer their text, when you refuse to give them closure, you become unpredictable, and unpredictability creates obsession. They stalk you instead of texting because your silence leaves them guessing. Every unanswered message, every moment without your response, becomes a question that eats at them. Are they done with me? Have they moved on? Are they happier without me? Seneca once said, "We are more often frightened than hurt, and we suffer more from imagination than from reality." And that's exactly what your silence does. It forces them to live in their imagination. They suffer not because you said something cruel, but because you said nothing at all. Their mind becomes their punishment. Here's the truth. Mystery is power. When you stop explaining, when you stop clarifying, you force them to confront their own doubts and insecurities. And the longer you remain silent, the more their imagination tortures them. Your silence makes them wonder if they ever mattered, if they ever had control, if they ever truly knew you. That's a pain far greater than any angry response you could ever give. Resist the urge to reveal what you're thinking or feeling. Let them sit with the unknown. Every moment of mystery increases your value and decreases their control. Be the storm they can't predict, the silence they can't decode. Number 7, your silence forces them to face themselves. When you don't respond, when you stay silent, you remove the distraction they use to avoid themselves. Your absence is a mirror. It reflects their choices, their behavior, and their failures back at them with brutal clarity. They stalk you instead of texting because deep down they know reaching out would expose the truth. They were the problem. Silence cornered them into facing the very things they tried to ignore. Epictetus said, "People are not disturbed by things, but by the view they take of them." Your silence shifts their view. Suddenly, they see their disrespect, their arrogance, their carelessness, and they can't escape it. They scroll through your pictures, they watch your stories, they look for signs of you because it's easier to watch you from a distance than to admit what they've done up close. Here's the raw truth. People hate accountability, and silence gives it to them in its purest form. No yelling, no blaming, no chasing, just the absence of you. And that absence forces them to question everything. Why did they stop caring? What did I do wrong? Why aren't they answering? That storm of self-reflection is punishment enough, and it always hits harder than words. Stay strong when guilt whispers in your ear. Don't break your silence to make them feel better. Let them carry the weight of their actions. Growth comes from discomfort, and your silence delivers that lesson without mercy. I want you to drop this affirmation in the comments right now. My silence forces them to face the truth. Number 8. Silence proves your power was never theirs. They stalk you because they don't own you anymore. They can watch, they can lurk, they can check every post and every move, but they can't control you. That's what eats at them. When you stay silent, you prove that your energy, your attention, your presence were never theirs to command. They thought they had the upper hand, but silence shatters that illusion. Marcus Aurelius said, "You have power over your mind, not outside events." Realize this, and you will find strength. Your silence is proof of that strength. You're not begging, you're not explaining, you're not giving them access. You're protecting your peace. And that choice strips away their false sense of control. They want to reach out, but pride chains them. They want to forget you, but silence keeps reminding them. They want answers, but you refuse to give them the satisfaction. Here's the reality. Silence turns the tables. They go from thinking you were replaceable to realizing you were the power all along. They stalk because silence leaves a vacuum and no one else can fill it. And the longer you hold your ground, the clearer it becomes. You were never the weak one. You were the prize, and now they know it. Every time you feel tempted to answer, repeat this truth. I am not here to feed their ego. I am here to protect my soul. Stand tall. Stay silent. Let them suffer in the emptiness your absence creates. They stalk you because silence is louder than anything you could have said. Every unanswered message, every post you don't explain, every moment you stay still, it's a strike to their ego. They expected tears, but you gave them discipline. They expected anger, but you gave them peace. They expected weakness, but you gave them silence, and silence always wins. Epictetus said, "Freedom is the only worthy goal in life. It's won by disregarding things that lie beyond our control." You can't control their stalking, their watching, their obsession, but you can control you. And that's the greatest victory, because when you stay silent, you don't just withhold words. You reclaim power. You show that your peace, your time, your energy are not theirs to touch. So remember this. They can stalk all they want, but you don't owe them a thing. You don't owe them closure. You don't owe them answers. You don't owe them your attention. Silence is not about punishing them. It's about honoring yourself. It's about proving that you no longer live in their shadow. And that is why silence makes you untouchable. They can't fight it. They can't manipulate it. They can't twist it. Silence is your shield. Silence is your sword. Silence is your power. Today, commit to protecting your peace above everything else. Let silence do the talking. Let your growth be the message. Let your strength be the closure. I want you to drop this affirmation in the comments right now. My silence is my power, and I never give it away. If this message hit your heart, don't just watch. Act. Take your power back, protect your energy, and keep moving forward. And if you want more daily reminders to stay strong, subscribe right now and join this community of warriors who are reclaiming their lives, one choice at a time. Silence wins. You already hold the victory.